There is a connection between autism, ADHD, and Vtubing. There is no denying this, as you hear about it quite often. Big Vtubers like Cottontail, Chibidoki, Ellie Minibot, and Krelly have autism, ADHD, or maybe both. And through personal anecdotes, so many people who are fans of Vtubers and Vtubing culture, or are Vtubers themselves, are neurodivergent, meaning they have either autism or ADHD. But why? Well, I'll never be able to give the true definitive answer for many people, but I can give you a few of the reasons as to why I think this connection exists. Some notes before we do though. This is solely discussing reasons relating to autism and ADHD. So things like, I just found the content to be funny, or I just like how Vtubing is, or other non-related reasons won't be discussed. That doesn't invalidate them though. Also, of course, every single autistic person and person with ADHD, their experiences will always be different. So this video isn't a one-size-fits-all discussion. It's just me spitballing some ideas that I just can't get out of my head. But without further ado, let's get into theory number 1. The first theory I have is stimulation. A lot of people who have ADHD or autism deal with sensory-related issues or problems in their day-to-day lives, being sensitive to sound, smell, or light. That's what often comes to mind when you think about it. But with the case of Vtubers, a lot of them use warmer and more inviting colours with their appearances. Some of them are more crazy and energetic with their vibes. Some of them are a lot more calmer and more reserved. There's always an option for autistic people and people with ADHD when it comes to finding something that they can fit with. You see a lot of blue, pink, purple and red in the Vtubing space. It's naturally more welcoming and calming to some people with these conditions. Now keep in mind that's going to be a key word, some. Not every single person with autism or ADHD has the same likes, dislikes, or reactions to these things. The second theory I have is just the nature of Vtubing in general. A lot of people with autism and ADHD often turn to burying themselves into the internet because the real world chewed them out and spat them back up because they didn't fit the normal mold that they were told to fit. Tell me, anybody who watches this video that may have autism or ADHD, have you ever felt like you were a burden to others? Like your interests or what you found difficult were weird to others? You feel like you never fit in anywhere, or you just don't quite belong? Escaping to the online world where things can be a little more unorthodox or crazy, where you can make your goofy cat videos or showcase those insane cosplays of your favourite anime characters. It's an escape from the cruel reality that the real world can be at times, where things are a lot more boring, sad, and reclusive, where the bullying will continue because you can't eat the same food that other people can, where you can't wear the same stuff that people can, or you just can't seem to focus on the tasks that other people can do like the back of their hand. Vtubing can be an escape for people who struggle with these sort of things. The third theory is that of unity. Autistic people and people with ADHD often feel like they're outcasted by people, because a lot of the time they are. So finding a space with people who enjoy what they do, have the same difficulties that they do or similar difficulties that they do, is something they really want to go for. So finding a space with the people who enjoy what they do is difficult. Vtubing is all about community, or at least that's what I think it should be all about. And nearly every single big Vtuber seems to have a community that you could join. The biggest example, of course, is the swarm with Neurosama. Neurodivergent people oftentimes have a desire to feel like they should belong somewhere. You've always felt like you want to belong, right? As an autistic person, or a person with ADHD, you want to feel accepted for your differences. You want people to understand that you're just a bit different from other people, and that you're not a burden compared to others. And the Vtubing space can offer that somewhere. It can really offer that feeling of community, which can always feel just out of reach in the real world, where people often judge you for the slightest things that are different, or your slightest shortcomings. It can be a really cool escape. The final theory is the one that I firmly believe is the primary reason for why a lot of neurodivergent people feel really drawn to the Vtubing world, and that is freedom. Vtubing is the absolute definition of the word freedom. Vtubing is a space where your ideas can be expressed with way less judgment than the real world. You want to be a sugar plum fairy that's also a succubus? Go right ahead. You want to be a cat made out of mint ice cream? Anything you want. Or perhaps you want to be a mage with a robot arm? Say no more. It's one thing a lot of people with autism and ADHD seek. Freedom. Why do you think a lot of people with neurodivergence are connected to Sonic so much? Because he's the big symbol of freedom too. We're often told that what we love, what we do, how we act is crazy or too weird or we don't fit in. We're judged daily, but in the VTubing world, it can seem a little bit more possible to do what we want to do, express ourselves in the ways that people may find weird in the real world. Maybe you want to be that crazy VTuber who wants to bounce around all the time, or maybe you want to share your knowledge about how many different kinds of cheese there are in the world. You can really share all of your interests. However, to say that the VTubing space is perfect is a lie though. I myself was judged a lot for my 1.0 design. But despite the flaws of the VTubing space, VTubing allows you to truly embrace who you are, your quirks and what you enjoy. So many of my fans and people that I've met in the VTubing space have neurodivergence of some kind, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I think the freedom, the nature, the unity, and some of the stimulation of VTubing is something that we as neurodivergent people seek out often to try and help distract us from the horrible thing that can be the real world, or dealing with the struggles of having to exist in a world where we don't fit the traditional molds. Overall, I think we can agree that the VTubing space can be a great outlet for those with neurodiversity to feel like they can be themselves without being judged for being too quirky, too weird, or even worse names or things that I'm not going to say. It's why I think so many people with ADHD and autism love VTubing. It's the ultimate expression of freedom. So before we go, I would like to ask my audience, if you are autistic or have ADHD or maybe both, if you're comfortable with it, could you share your experiences with the VTubing space and what made you want to explore it more originally? Did any of the points in this video match up with the reasons why you enjoy VTubing? I hope to hear some discussions in the comments, but I hope you all enjoyed my reasoning. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care everybody.